from more than one company that year, and match it up against your tax return line item for wage income. That way they make sure you've reported all of your income for wages. If you're a self-employed individual, you don't have this Form W-2. Instead, you might receive Form 1099 Miscellaneous. And usually we're going to be looking at box 7 here, non-employee compensation. So you might get 5 different 1099 miscellaneous forms from various customers or clients you work for throughout the year. Usually you're not going to just be able to add up box 7 and make that your income line item, because not all customers are going to issue you a Form 1099 Miscellaneous. There are some thresholds and other requirements that might actually exempt them from sending you one, but it kind of gives the IRS a low-end number on what to be expecting for a self-employed individual to be reporting as income. Basically, if you're the payer, so you're the business that's paying a subcontractor, you get a tax deduction for that payment for services. Since you get a tax deduction, the IRS wants to know, hey, where's the other side, the taxable income? So this Form 1099 Miscellaneous helps them find that other side of the coin, the taxable income. So in general, you're going to file a Form 1099 Miscellaneous if you paid a person or company $600 or more during the year via cash, check, wire, ACH, bank transfer, or a combination of those for services or rents, and that's going to be in your business. So if you just have somebody come out to repair your AC at your home and that's not in your business, then you don't have to worry about this. It goes back to getting the tax deduction. So you get a tax deduction for these things in your business, so that's why it's a requirement in your business. So if you pay with a debit card, a credit card, PayPal, or some other type of payment processor, you are not required to file Form 1099 Miscellaneous. This is because those payment processors actually have a separate form, Form 1099-K, that they are required to file potentially. So the IRS doesn't want to get a Form 1099 Miscellaneous from you and a Form 1099-K from, let's say, PayPal for the exact same income. That doesn't help them gauge a true amount of income that they should be expecting. It might actually make them think they should be seeing more income for that subcontractor than it was actually paid out. The Form 1099 Miscellaneous is due January 31st after the year ends, and that's a pretty quick turnaround time. So that's one reason that we stress the importance of getting Form W-9s throughout the year and staying on top of your accounting records. Now, in general, you actually aren't required to send out a Form 1099 Miscellaneous for payments to corporations, and you'll know this based on the box that they check on their Form W-9, whether they're a C corporation, an S corporation, or an LLC taxed as a C corporation or S corporation. You'll see that on Form W-9. And again, that's in general, so there are some exceptions where you would have to file a Form 1099 Miscellaneous to a corporation. And then lastly, real quick, I wanted to mention that Form 1099 Miscellaneous, like I said, is required, so there are some pretty hefty penalties that the IRS could impose if you don't comply with these requirements. Alright, so as I mentioned, the W-9 is what we're going to use to input most of these fields into the Form 1099. So I just wanted to go through real quick looking at Form W-9 and seeing how that goes directly into the Form 1099 Miscellaneous. So on W-9, we've got a name box, and that's where you'll put the recipient's name, so that's going to be the person or business that you've had these services from. If they have a doing business as name, that might go on line 2. Lines 5 and 6, their address, that way you know where to mail their copy of the 1099. And then depending upon if they're an individual or a company, you'll put their social security number or their employer identification number, which should be filled out on the Form W-9 as well. And then we go over this in the Form W-9 presentation, but you always want to make sure that they complete Part 2 certification. That way you have their signature on saying that all of that information above is correct. So here again is just an example of an actually filled out Form 1099. So we're taking the position that our company is Z Builders. You can see our address and our employer identification number there. And then we've gotten all of this information in orange from the Form W-9 that Ronald Green, doing business as Wide Drywall, has provided us. And then from our accounting records, we know that we have paid Ronald's business $5,500 in 2019. So that is what we're reporting to the IRS. And that's it, kind of the basics of Form 1099 Miscellaneous. That deadline is going to be approaching January 31st, like I said. So start getting those W-9s if you haven't already, and reach out to us with any questions on Form 1099 Miscellaneous, and we will get them done. Thanks.